Salaam from the Southwest Georgia Project. Now, that's not the full name. Say it again for me.
The Southwest Georgia Project for Community Education.
There we go. And we're talking about race, racial healing, how it can help Southwest Georgia. And one of the things we just left off with is talking about specific things that the organization does. Tell me a little bit about that.
Right. What I was saying was that we're about to relaunch our program that gives weekly sessions on what race is and how to deal with it as a community and what can black people and white people do together. There's a lot of talk about, as a white person, what can I do? Or as a black person, what can I do? Or we want to talk about the hurts, but we also talk about how we can heal from that and how we can move past that.
Speaking about that, why is it important to first acknowledge what's happened and then not just get stuck there and have a gripe session, but put it out there, release it, and then move on to work past it? Why is it important to do that?
Because that's the only way we move forward. We get stuck sometimes, and the reason why we have gripe sessions, because we want, one, a lot of us are still feeling the effects of racism, so it's still very fresh for us. The wound is still very open. But we want to make sure we move past that so that we don't continue to give our children our hurts. We want to end this, and we want to be able to heal from it, so that's the only way we can.
Another issue is on social media. People talk about it, most recently with the Trayvon Martin case. It's been very splitting. Some people say it's directly down white and black lines. I personally don't think it is. I think it's about a person and a case. But tell me, on social media, some people feel freedom to anonymously post hateful comments, hurtful comments. And you were talking earlier with me before the show about why it's important we address social media commenting that can be very hurtful to some people.
Absolutely. I think that social media is a powerful tool, but it could be powerful in a good way and a bad way. And I think that sometimes when people are able to post and not put their real names or put up pictures, they say what's in their heart. And how I take that is that it's a whole lot of fear. It's fear, misunderstanding. They don't understand what's going on. They're angry, and so they lash out and they take that out on the people. And it's not fair because it only just sparks a continuous tension between the races.
But the issue really isn't to take the comments off of social media, because whether you take them off or not, they still exist. People
Absolutely.
still feel that way.
Absolutely.
So it's still important to address people however they feel, wherever they're coming from.
I think it gives us our true reality, because we like to focus on, and we like to think that we're in a better state. I know I do. But the social media definitely gives us a reality check of this is where we are and this is how we can move forward.
Another thing you have today, we have lots of books here and DVDs, because some people might be saying, I don't know where to get started. I don't know what to do. I feel like I want to be involved. I want to help the community move forward, but where do I begin? Tell me about the resources you have here.
Absolutely. I brought a few books here. Racism Without Races, White Like Me, Black and White Styles and Conflict. And what these books talk about is the systemic racism and how it has been indoctrinated in everything that we do. But we're not only talking about that, we're talking about healing. So I have brought some DVDs that's Beyond Our Differences and the Power of Forgiveness. We also want to, again, always promote that healing.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we're going to leave it there for right now, but there's a lot more to this conversation. And again, we'll have the information on our website, mysouthwestga.com, about how you can get directly involved with helping Southwest Georgia heal with some of the racial tensions that still exist today. Again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Salaam from the Southwest Georgia Project. Now, some people might be asking, what exactly is the Southwest Georgia Project, and what does it have to do with race relations in Southwest Georgia?
Well, we're a nonprofit organization that has been in Albany, Georgia for over 50 years. A lot of people don't know that because we work a lot with our rural counties that surround Dougherty County. But we actually was birthed out of the civil rights movement. So we have a history of working for civil rights. We worked a lot with farmers, partnering with other organizations to help combat black land laws. And over the years, we just try to fight discrimination and also educate the community. And so we feel like it's a good time at this particular time to talk about race relations, to really try to build a more unified community.
And that leads me perfectly to the next question, which is why today is it the perfect time to really talk about race? Some people say it's not necessary, we're post-racial because we have a black president. Others say there are a lot of racial tensions in Southwest Georgia. Why is it still necessary to talk about race?
Wow, that's a loaded question with many answers. But the fact of the matter is racism is still alive today. We don't want to harbor on what happened in the past, but there are so many types of racism, and people don't even understand that. But there's cultural racism, there's systemic racism, there's institutionalized racism, and at this particular time, those are the things that are affecting us right now, and that's why we feel like it's the right time to address it.
Now, one thing I want to point out, when we talk about learning about racism and doing something about it, are you talking about one particular community, or can everyone play a part? And if so, what role can everyone play?
Oh, absolutely. Everybody plays a part. I think that in the past, we've tried to do it one way or the other, but we need everybody working collectively together. And so people can get involved all kinds of ways. You could be a participant, you can help us with ideas, and you just contact us. You contact us at 229-430-9870.
Perfect plug for your organization there. Now, one thing I want to talk about is if people get involved, communities, organizations, businesses, schools, what's the benefit? Like when we get on the process of learning to have racial healing, what is the benefit to the community to have racial healing?
Well, I think we'll actually see our community grow and progress. Everybody wants the community flourish, but there's a big elephant or hippo or whatever you want to call it that's in the room, and it's absolutely time to address that. And I think that when people actually are educated about the history of racism, then it removes the panic and the fear. And a lot of things are just sparked because people don't know what to do.
You know, just like you said, it's the elephant in the room because it can be very uncomfortable. Some of you might be uncomfortable watching right now. It can be an uncomfortable conversation to have with your children. It can be uncomfortable to talk with your peers, with your friends about it. But even though it can be uncomfortable, why is it important to push past and have the conversation?
Because it affects everybody. It affects black people, it affects white people, it affects Hispanic people, and a lot of people they deal with a lot of internal things and they think that it's me, it's something wrong with me, and it affects them in all facets of their lives. And so I think that it's so important to deal with it on the upper hand so that you could put it in a context that's understandable for everybody so that we can make better choices.
Now, what specifically is the Southwest Georgia Project doing in the community to combat racism?
The first thing we're doing is education, and that's actually our full name, the Southwest Georgia Project for Community Education. We believe in advocacy, but we believe that through educating the people and giving them the knowledge that they need. So with this particular piece, we are launching a series that educates people on the history of racism, what stereotypes do, and how we can move past all of that to build a collaborative community together.
All right, that sounds very interesting, and we're going to get more into that right after the break.